Over 1,700 new millionaires are being minted every single day. How would you like to be the next one? Cryptocurrencies are the fastest way to reach millionaire status, legally speaking, of course. But the time is running out. Over the next few months, the crypto space is going to see an explosion of capital, pushing prices of certain cryptocurrencies through the roof. That is why in this video, I'm sharing with you 8 altcoins that have the potential to 10, 20, 50, and even 100x. Let's just jump right in. The first one we're going to talk about, this is, to me, is a layup, an absolute layup, a 10x for Cardano and the ADA token, coming in currently at 45.7 cents, ranked number 11 on the market cap list, according to CryptoRank.io. And ADA hasn't appreciated in price like some of the other altcoins, leading people to say, hey, nothing is happening on the project. The project is dead. It is a ghost chain. We've already made a video kind of dispelling a lot of that. Make sure to go check that out. We'll drop that in the comment in the description of this video. But you take a look at when Cardano moves, it really moves. Take a look back in 2021. Cardano was pretty stagnant leading up to that, right? It was trading around 2 cents, 1 cent, 3 cents. And then all of a sudden, in a matter of 98 days, Cardano went up 641%. So over a 7x on Cardano in a matter of less than 100 days, so about 3 months. Then it saw a pullback from top to bottom, wick to wick, of around 50%. And then shortly thereafter, it resumed an uptrend, getting another 200% in gains in a matter of 42 days this time, which saw the top of the market around $3.05 for ADA around September 6th of 2021. Now, what are some of the proponents, some of the big things that are going to give Cardano this 10x? One of them is a big narrative is real world asset tokenization. You take a look at a project like Indigo, who is built on Cardano, tokenizing the real world economy. So this is a project that hasn't gotten a lot of hype, but there's looking to get into that RWA asset tokenization narrative. And of course, we know Cardano is extremely decentralized. It's fast, it's scalable, it has liquid staking. So a lot of good things that people look for, they want to tokenize. Also with the side chain and Cardano as a service layer, this could be potentially pretty big. And then also the big one here is Cardano's roadmap, right? Entering into the Voltaire era, which is the last phase of the roadmap, which is all about governance. We did host Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, on our show about a month ago. And listen to what he had to say about the importance of governments and how that's going to unlock close to $1 billion and what that could potentially do to the price of Cardano and their ecosystem. So here we go.
Governance is like the big thing, guys. This is the big differentiator between us and everybody else. You got Vitalik writing articles saying on-chain governance can't work. We're not even going to think about it. So it's the same like quantum computers are necessary to do liquid staking. Okay. Governance. If you have on-chain governance and you truly engage everything, we get 3 things, and these are the best things in the world. First, Cardano has a built-in sovereign wealth fund. There's $900 million currently in it worth of ADA. And it's locked up. And Catalyst kind of accesses it, but that whole thing opens up. And then every year the community can come together in a decentralized way, build a budget, vote on a budget, and distribute funds, just like a government does. That will unlock so much acceleration and escalation of adoption of the roadmap and so many new ventures to come on. And it's 10 times better than any of these centralized sources because it's not some pay-to-play development fund that people have.
Amen to that. And so you take a look at, hey, what did Cardano's price do when that rally from 5 cents to over $3? It was complete speculation. When that rally happened, Cardano had no smart contract capabilities, no NFTs, no dApps, no nothing. So it was strictly retail-driven speculation. There's no reason to believe that's not going to come back this cycle. On top of that, they have the smart contract capabilities. They have the dApps. They have a booming NFT ecosystem. You're going to have access to around $1 billion that Cardano, if you are holding Cardano and you're staking it, you are going to have a say in where that money is being spent. If you want to spend that on marketing, spend it on marketing. If you want to spend it on a certain project you believe can push Cardano forward, you can do that as well. That is why we believe Cardano is a layup for a 10x from 45 cents to $4.50. Now, let's get in to your first 20x token. Now, this token is looking to solve one of the biggest problems today, which is supply chain management. It fits into the DePIN narrative. And we know supply chains are really the lifeblood of any economy. And that token, guys, is VeChain. So VeChain, the leader in supply chain management. I do want to share a couple case studies and why and how VeChain could have solved this issue, taking a lot of the pain points away. So this is from Raconteur.net. 10 supply chain disasters. I want to focus on the first one, the 2016 Olympics in Rio. So one complication was the glacially slow Brazilian customs system. Imports are taxed at a higher rate, and customs officers take time to process the archaic paperwork. Shipments can be held up by standards and quality regulator in Metro, by the Agricultural Department, which will demand articles of association among other paperwork, by health regulators, and by federal or state tax collectors. Well, guess what? If all this was on chain, leveraging, let's say, a project like VeChain, this wouldn't have probably happened. VeChain could have easily solved this issue. The next one I want to talk about is counterfeit goods. Take a look at a case study with Nike, right? The rise of counterfeiting and its effects on Nike. This is from soapboxy.com. The fake goods market is on the rise, estimated at around $464 billion back in 2019, and that trend is growing. The industry with the most counterfeit seizures in 2013 was footwear. You take a look at a company like Nike, which is the most counterfeited brand in the world. And I want to read this part here. Nike faces today the threat of counterfeit goods, which is increasing year after year as suggested by data. It is the most counterfeited brand in the world. This affects the overall image of the brand, and it might dilute brand equity. Also, the presence of fake Nike merchandise in the market leads to lesser revenue generation for the company, which means lower profits. Not only that, such huge losses affect the economy on the whole. It is estimated that the total loss faced by countries around the world due to counterfeit is $600 billion. So you go to a company like Nike and say, hey, you move your supply chain distribution online on VeChain. We'll handle all the back end. We'll give you whatever you need, right? And we can put an extra $1 billion a year of revenue into your pocket. We'll save some brand defamation, right? From people getting, counterfeit Nikes. And a lot of people who buy counterfeit shoes or counterfeit clothing have no idea they're doing it. And so that is another thing VeChain is looking to do. And you take a look at it from this article, over a quarter of U.S. shoppers have purchased counterfeit goods accidentally, right? So 26% of American consumers have accidentally bought at least one counterfeit product in the last year. And 52% of U.S. consumers have lost trust in a brand after buying their fake good and service. And so it is a complete win-win. And guess what? The leader in this space and this narrative is going to be VeChain. Also with VeChain, they have a lot of marketing they're doing, more recently partnering with UFC. And so VeChain, the king of RWA, to integrate blockchain in UFC fighter gloves, showcasing real-world asset tokenization to 900 million plus global viewership base. Also, VeChain has landed some big names trusted by leading partners, including you have Haier, Walmart, DNV, BMW, Reese. And so they've been around for a while. They got the longevity, they got the infrastructure in place, and they already have big brands that are working with them. Taking a look at VeChain coming in at 4.3 cents. So a 20x would put it at 80 cents. It did have an all-time high market cap of $18.67 billion, currently sitting at 3.15. So a 20x would bring the total market cap of VeChain at around $60 billion, which in the grand scheme of things, we figure the cryptocurrency markets are between $5 and $8 trillion. The leader in supply chain management, 60 billion, is, if they get the adoption, it's pretty safe to say that's not something out of this world like, oh my God, 20x. No. So we believe VeChain has that kind of potential. Taking a look at the VeChain chart on the weekly here, it has been pretty flat, right? VeChain hasn't really had that massive explosion. It did rise on a weekly candle. It did have a 50% gain, but then it had a pullback, and we're kind of trading sideways, which guess what? If you're looking to get exposure to VeChain for the first time, this might be a good place to start, right around that 4.1 cents. Now, that is your first 20x coin. I have another one, and this one has to do with one of the hottest narratives that people consistently talk about, and that is AI, which leads me to Fetch.ai. Coming in at number 51, we believe this has a 20x token potential, $2.11. Now, it's important to note that the big merge, we did cover this as well, which will drop the link to this video in the description of this show, is the merge between Fetch, Ocean, and SingularityNet. That was approved, and we can see here from this article, merger a step closer after the proposal was approved. Now, the anchor price, once the token does merge to the newly branded ASI token, will be right around $2.85. So the potential ARB opportunity here as the merge and the token launch gets near. Then we have this from Forbes. So why is AI going to be so big? The future of AI, 5 things to expect in the next 10 years. One is AI and language models will transform the scientific method. Important science, think large-scale clinical trials is expensive and time-consuming. With AI and machine learning, we can expect to see orders of magnitude of improvement in what it can be accomplished. Also, the second one, AI will become a pillar of foreign policy. We are likely to see serious government investment in AI, and U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has publicly embraced the importance of partnering with innovative AI technology companies to maintain and strengthen global U.S. competitiveness. You have a consumer side as well, which is what Fetch really focuses on. So next generation consumer experiences like the metaverse and crypto have garnered a lot of attention. Talks about addressing the climate crisis with AI, and also AI enabling truly personalized medicine. So a lot of money has been pouring into AI, artificial intelligence. We saw NVIDIA, the stock over 7x in a matter of 4 years. We're talking about a multi-hundreds of billion-dollar company. Just saw its valuation reach over $2.5 trillion. Now, why is what Fetch and the whole merger, why is this so important? Why do we think it has that 20x potential? You talk about companies like OpenAI, you talk about companies like Microsoft and Google who are launching their own AI. Well, this is going to be centralized. And what does that mean? That means one person, one entity has control over what information and what the AI machine learning is learning, what information is fed into there. So the risks of centralizing AI power among a handful of companies, this is from Cyber News. This concentration of knowledge and resources in the hands of a handful of industry giants is not just a business matter, it is a potential societal concern. That is the whole base case of why Fetch, Ocean, and SingularityNet have decided to merge and come together to be able to give a decentralized option to people and to AI. And some of the key things that these 3 companies are going to bring. SingularityNet, of course, was founded by Dr. Ben Goertzel, with the mission of creating a decentralized, democratic, and inclusive and beneficial artificial intelligence. The team includes seasoned engineers, scientists, researchers, entrepreneurs, and marketers. Fetch AI, again, I did mention they're more on the consumer side with their AI-based agent technology. And then Ocean Protocol is more of your infrastructure. So it was founded to level the playing field for AI and data. Ocean tools enable businesses and individuals to trade tokenized data assets seamlessly. So these all are going to come under one token umbrella, and we believe that token is going to have a 20x potential. Now, you got one 10x, one 20x. Now let's get into 3 of our 50x potentials, and some of these might surprise you because they rank pretty high on the market cap list. And let's start with one project that we talk about ad nauseum on our live show, and that is Near Protocol, the trailblazer of the cryptocurrency space. From the Near handle here on X, Near is chain abstraction, AI, data availability, empowering fast finality to Ethereum rollups. The BOS, the only full stack blockchain, your entry point to Web3, and so much more. Near is something that we've been extremely bullish on. Now, what are some of the things that make Near unique? It is extremely user and developer friendly. What do I mean? Well, on the user side, we have things such as named addresses. So ditch the random numbers and embrace user-friendly addresses that are easy to recall, unique key streams, and inexpensive, blazing fast, and reliable is the blockchain. But a bigger one here, which makes Near pretty unique, is they tout themselves as the blockchain for developers. Why? Near's WebAssembly runtime lets you craft smart contracts using well-known languages such as JavaScript and Rust. And I might add, JavaScript is the most common programming language in the world. built-in account abstraction, cover gas fees for your users using built-in meta transactions. And this one is very interesting. Built-in developer incentives. Every time code runs on a smart contract, the contract developer earns 30% of the burned gas fee. Another big narrative that saw the price of Near push from around $2 to over $6 was their data availability. So Near DA, it is trusted by certain projects such as Arbitrum, Polygon, Starknet, Caldera, Dimension, and Web3 Games. It essentially serves as a place to store your data. Taking a look here from this article, why Near data availability offers a solution to the scalability roadblock with a simple architecture that is easy to implement and constantly improving efficiency, having cheaper transactions. You take a look here from the comparison, comparing Near to Celestia, to Ethereum post-Protodank sharding, and to Ethereum pre-Protodank sharding. You can see here Near protocol is miles ahead as far as the throughput and the amount of money you have to spend to store data on the platform. And the other one, the biggest one here, is chain abstraction. Interoperability, right? We're going into a world of blockchains being interoperable, not having to use bridges that get hacked all the time, not having to lose money or create 20 different wallets with 20 different tokens to use to pay for gas. And in here, Near this website does give a great example, and I'll drop this in the description of the video so you can take a look for yourself. So a lot of different narratives are popping up for Near. And then the last one here, they introduced multi-chain transactions from a single account. The Near Foundation has revealed that the protocol now enables chain signatures. This advancement allows users to access multiple chains using their Near account. There are cryptographic signatures that allow users to sign transactions on one blockchain using a private key associated with an account on another blockchain. So interoperability, again, a lot of different narratives that Near is checking. And then you take a look at ecosystem growth. I mean, my God, the number of unique addresses on Near, they are ranked number one with 101 million unique addresses, followed by Base, Flow, Aptos, Arbitrum, so on and so forth. So the ecosystem is growing. Near currently coming in at $5.23, which means a 50x would bring Near to $250 billion. This is, of course, assuming the total crypto markets are between $5 and $8 trillion. Ethereum is at around $2 trillion, let's just say. It's not too far off to say that Near protocol, with everything they're doing, could potentially be the second or third most valuable layer one, bringing in a $250 billion market cap. Near protocol was trading around $1 for the longest time, did get up to over $8.80. It is currently retraced. If you picked up Near under $5, congratulations to you, because you're looking at over a potential 50x. But Near protocol, $5, anything under $8, $9 for Near protocol is a great bet. Now, that was your first 50x. We have two other ones to cover, but before I go over the other two, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like this content and you want more. Let's stay on the narrative of what are the biggest narratives, right? We have AI. We talked about RWA with Cardano. Well, what is one project that is the only thing they do is really RWAs that's tied in with giants like BlackRock, not giants, but the giant, and that is none other than Ando Finance. And taking a look here from the Forbes article, BlackRock's $10 trillion tokenization vision, the future of real-world assets. Leading the charge is BlackRock, and they're aiming to tokenize $10 trillion of their asset. This move highlights BlackRock's commitment to innovation and signals a broader trend that could redefine investment strategies, fundamentally the rise of real-world asset tokenization. Take a look at a project like Ando Finance, which again, their main thing that they do is RWA. And guess what? They have ties to BlackRock. So Ando Finance to deploy OUSG assets in the BlackRock Build Fund. So Ando Finance, which has over 220 million in TVL, plans to reallocate the majority of their assets in its tokenized U.S. Treasuries Fund, OUSG, into BlackRock's newly launched USDC Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund, also known as their Build Fund. Ando is also launching instant subscriptions and redemptions for OUSG in response to its clients' growing demand for faster settlement processes. Traditionally, OUSG redemptions have taken a few business days due to settlement times of the underlying securities, and Ando is looking to cut that time by a factor of tenfold. Now, a little bit about the Ando ecosystem. What is their main thing they're looking to do? A couple things I've highlighted here: liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. The crypto market has grown exponentially, but liquidity, which is a key driver of growth and the key metric of market vitality, remains a critical challenge. The Ando ecosystem addresses this challenge by fostering a collaborative, reliable environment where capital flows seamlessly across an interoperable network of liquidity providers, including centralized exchanges, OTC desks, and DeFi protocols. That is massive. So not just public, but private as well, right? Take a look at bringing Web 2 to Web 3. And also the other one here as well is utility, utility, utility. Transacting in a tokenized world means working with multiple public blockchains with different approaches to blockchain technology, whether it's proof of work, proof of stake, proof of authority, or proof of history. Ando Finance makes this seamless by working with leading layer 1 and layer 2 platforms, such as Ethereum, Solana, Mantle, and Polygon, and natively bridging tokens using the Ando Bridge, powered by Ando Finance and bridging technology like Axelar. Taking a look at where Ando is right now, it is actually one of the few gainers in an overall red market, coming in at 88.3 cents with a market cap of $1.27 billion. Now, it is near all-time highs. It's got big backings from Coinbase Ventures, from Digital Currency Group, and Shima Capital. A 50x for Ando here puts it on track for around a little north of $52 billion market cap. And for a platform that is tied to BlackRock, that we know is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry, is tokenizing real-world assets, 50x, we believe, is actually on the low end of the potential of what Ando can do. And again, as far as the chart goes, Ando is relatively near all-time highs, and so the chart price action doesn't really matter. But hey, this thing is currently on a dip right around 88 cents. It did wick all the way up to over $1. But we take a look at 88 cents or 90 cents or 70 cents. We believe this thing can get to almost $50. Do you really want to wait around and lose out on that? I would not recommend it. Now, the last 50x here, I believe, is the most undervalued tech in crypto. ICP can do what few can do completely on-chain, not just the front end, but the back end as well. And it serves every single big narrative you have heard. ICP has been doing that. Not just is doing it, but has been doing it for a very long time. Now, let's talk about the AI narrative. I want to share a video from Chief Scientist Dominic Williams at the Build Asia event, talking about what is possible on ICP when it comes to AI.
And with a few other things, we think that within a few months, AI will run with as much as 10x the efficiency on the internet computer that it does today. So we're addressing the challenge of AI compute, both by increasing limits and by making the execution environment more efficient as pertains to running AI computation. But the network scales without limits, so we can run any number of AIs. If people want to run AI, then eventually as the network maintains a buffer capacity, and the node providers who run these things called node machines.
So it's limitless. Okay. So pretty straightforward, right? The AI narrative, ICP was also the first blockchain that allowed an AI to completely run a smart contract 100% on chain. Dominic did a demonstration, which we're not going to show, but I'm sure you've seen it make its way on the social media apps like X. So that is your AI narrative. Well, the second big narrative is Bitcoin solutions, things built on top of Bitcoin, right? And well, guess what? ICP is seen as a layer 2 to Bitcoin. This is from the internetcomputer.org. Internet Computer adds the missing smart contract layer to Bitcoin. Leveraging chain fusion technology, ICP can directly read and write to Bitcoin, enabling dApps that natively interact with the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I have another video from Dominic Williams. He was on a podcast talking about Bitcoin and how they are integrating ICP with Bitcoin. Listen to this.
But that same framework, anyways, is being extended so that the internet computer blockchain can create transactions firstly on Bitcoin, and later we'll look at other blockchains like Ethereum. Now, what does that mean in practical terms? It means that smart contracts on the Internet Computer blockchain are going to get their own Bitcoin addresses, right? And this is nothing to do with bridges or wrapped Bitcoin or sidechains or any of that kind of malarkey. These smart contracts will effectively sit on the Bitcoin blockchain with their own Bitcoin addresses. And they're going to be able to send, receive, and process Bitcoin.
Bingo. Narrative 2 in the bag. Now, what is the other narrative, right? DePIN, Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network. We saw Arweave rally from $10 to over $40, right? The infrastructure of Web3. Guess what? ICP's got that in the bag as well. How do they have that? Something called Cloud 3.0. So, blockchains, what they do with all the data and the information, they leverage cloud services like Amazon Web, Google Cloud. ICP is one of the only blockchains out there that is able to host the cloud directly 100% on-chain in a decentralized fashion. So this is from the internetcomputer.org. A truly autonomous cloud is one which is not controlled by a company or entity, but it is public and decentralized like the internet itself. Now imagine a blockchain protocol that enables an autonomous serverless cloud that hosts data as well as logic, where software is tamper-proof and unstoppable, can scale horizontally, and processes HTTP, where you can build sovereign systems and services that don't need the protection of firewalls. So that is what Internet Computer can do. Also, I'd like to add, it is extremely interoperable with their chain key technology, their canister capabilities, and the ability to generate proofs on ICP and use that across multiple chains. Now, we know the history of ICP's price action. It got pumped up to $700 by VCs, completely screwed over by Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda Research. A 50x for ICP would put it at a $250 billion market cap, in line with what I said with Near Protocol. And we believe with the technology that ICP has, being screwed over in the last cycle, people are finally starting to realize, wow, I mean, you're talking about infinitely scalable. And I want to give a big shout out to the ICP community. I was in a Twitter space and they said the logo is an infinity because the blockchain is scalable to infinity. And so there is no limitations to scaling ICP. They do up to 6,000 to 10,000 transactions per second. This is not in theory. This is actually what is happening on the blockchain. So as more and more people come around to the technology of ICP, what it's been doing, we believe ICP is the most grossly undervalued cryptocurrency and technology in our space, which is why we believe it has the potential to 50x to a $250 billion market cap. Right. Now let's get into these super degen 100x coins. And I have two that I would like to share with you. All right. Let's talk about one of the biggest sectors in the world, and that is real estate. So the flow, this is from Andrew Kang. Andrew Kang is the founder of Pleaser DAO and Mechanism Finance. So the flow of wealth from a $280 trillion asset class, real estate, to a $1.3 trillion asset is happening before your eyes. A multi-decade shift in society's asset preference for wealth preservation. We take a look here. So buying a home has gotten extremely expensive, but there's always a bunch of fees that people don't think about, that at the end you buy a house for $300,000. Guess what? It ends up being $340,000, $350,000 by the end of it. So there's a total of $18,275, taking an average of the average home in the US, which is around $425,000. And we took the median of the fees and percentages. So typically on a $425,000 home, you are paying 3% to your realtor, which comes out to $12,750. And here is a complete breakdown on your screen. And again, this comes out to $18,275. Now, why am I showing you this? Because blockchain and running, tokenizing real estate and running the purchase agreements and selling on a blockchain alleviates all of these fees. So if you're a buyer, that's an extra $20,000 in your pocket. And the project we believe that has a potential to get a lot of that is Propy, Propy, 24/7 real estate closings. It's a nice video here. I'm not going to play this. But the future of home buying now, so it's a couple things they do. They are a transaction platform, title and escrow. Also, they have an agent leaderboard. Although they are only operating in 3 states currently, I believe it's Texas, Florida, and there's one other state that is not coming to my mind, but it's got a lot of big backing, research-backed inventions from University of Cambridge, Harvard, Oxford, Princeton, and Stanford. They have a bunch of different clients, and they are looking to expand. They even have their own NFT marketplace where you can buy and share tokenized version of any real estate, whether it's your real estate or someone else's. Let's say in St. Petersburg, Florida, Gary Cardano, if you're watching, maybe tokenize your home. Propy is currently sitting at $3.07, $176 million market cap. So 100x would bring the valuation of Propy to over $17 billion. If the real estate tokenization, right, one of the largest asset classes in the world, if these start to be tokenized, and you take a look at Propy, some of their backers, backed by people like Tim Draper, which if you're not familiar with, he's one of the most well-known investors of our lifetime. And he's had investments in companies like Skype, Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, DocuSign, Coinbase, Robinhood. So he's big into crypto. He knows where to put his money, well, because all these have been extremely successful, and he's assuming he's made a lot of money on them. Propy is backed by them. They're building, they already have the infrastructure in place. They've been around for a while, and they're only at $176 million market cap. And so we believe Propy could potentially 100x. And then finally, your last 100x that can make you a lot of money comes from the Avalanche ecosystem. As I scroll here on the Banky, so the project name I'm talking about here is Banky. Lend, borrow, liquid staking, and we're going to talk about Ignite here as well. Now, this is a play on the Avalanche ecosystem, right? We've seen liquid staking, lending, borrowing from projects like Lido, Rocket Pool, Aave on Ethereum absolutely explode, not only in TVL, but in token price. And we believe Banky has a lot of potential for upside at his under $100 million market cap. You take a look at an ecosystem like Avalanche, we're bullish on it. A lot of people are bullish on the ecosystem. Then why not have exposure to the #1 protocol on Avalanche when it comes to what it is their sector that they're doing, which is, again, lend, borrow, liquid staking. They're currently ranked #2 on DeFi Llama when it comes to TVL, only behind Trader Joe, which is the leading DEX for Avalanche. So Banky's total TVL is coming in at $340 million. And they also have a very unique program that not only is going to help the Avalanche ecosystem as a whole grow, but also gives massive utility to their coin. Massive utility, and it's called Ignite. So Ignite Avalanche validators and subnets for all. So how does it work? Banky has over 1 million AVAX ready to fuel Ignite's mission to accelerate the growth of the Avalanche ecosystem. With Ignite, Banky provides all 2,000 AVAX needed to spin up a validator node in exchange for a user posting a mere 10% worth of Avalanche in the Banky token. So to run a validator on Avalanche, you need 2,000 AVAX tokens. Well, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. With Banky, you can take 200 AVAX, swap it into the Banky token, of course, gives it utility, and then Banky will cover the rest and launch a validator for you. It's a win-win for the ecosystem. It's a win-win for the token. It's a win-win for the price going up. Also, according to the website here, by reducing the cost to run a subnet, Ignite is designed to accelerate the Avalanche's ecosystem growth into hyperdrive. More developers can afford to build with Avalanche's institutional-grade tooling. More stakers can afford to run their own nodes to validate the P-chain and early subnets. And more decentralization as more validators come onto the network. And again, as mentioned, Banky is currently sitting at 1.6 cents, grossly undervalued, $73 million market cap. 100x, guys, is $7.3 billion. You're talking about a token, an ecosystem like Avalanche that has a market cap of $13 billion and the leading liquid staking, lending, borrowing, validating project on this network is under $100 million. So there is a discrepancy in value to what it does, which is why we believe Banky is a potential 100x. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. A lot of time and research went into it. Do us a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know which of the projects mentioned in this video are your favorites. Thank you so much, and come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you in the next one.